Hey people! Well, welcome back to Wok Drop.
Once again. Once again.
It is oyster season. So today we're going to do one of my favorite oyster dishes, which is Málà mǔlì. Okay, so Málà is like numbing and spicy, mǔlì is oysters. So Málà we talked about in the spice section before, the spice section of the video. So if you haven't seen that video, go back, check it out. So today we're going to make a beautiful dish. This dish should be accompanied with rice. It's a real on top of rice dish. You remember the send the rice down dish that we did with the beef and celery. It's kind of along those lines, so you really want to eat this with rice. An absolutely beautiful dish. And every time oyster season is coming in Japan, I thoroughly look forward to making this dish because it is absolutely delicious. It's just the perfect, like, warm your soul food. So it's not hard to make. Let's get into the recipe. All right, so first up, some beautiful fresh Hiroshima oysters. Like just beautiful fresh oysters, straight from the market, and tofu, just tofu. So we have our Málà sauce, okay? I use the Kum Kee Ma sauce. They're not sponsoring me or anything like that, it's just what I use. But what I do is I alter it a little bit. So here I have some Douchi, fermented black soybeans, and then I have the Málà paste. I have 2 cloves of garlic, and then I have the hongyeo, the chili oil. That's on the Patreon. Go learn how to make it. And if I add a good tablespoon of that, of all the spices that are used in making the chili oil, if I add that to the Málà paste, mix it up, use the fermented black beans, and then also use like 2 cloves of garlic, I find that I get like a much deeper like flavor, and it just like really like marries with the oysters. And just to aid you with a smooth finish, we've got like a potato flour in a couple tablespoons of water. Can't forget our ground Sichuan peppercorns, and a little bit of Xian Tang, fresh coriander for the garnish. And last of all, a little bit of dark soy sauce. And now getting into like how I put the sauce together. Okay, so let's get to cooking the food. Let's do it. So, a little bit of oil, a couple of tablespoons of oil. Gonna chuck in the Málà paste first. Fermented soybeans, and the 2 cloves of garlic. Okay. Then after you've done that, give it a little bit of a stir fry. And once you're starting to get that, like, see the garlic's getting this red oil, and you've got this real red oil flavor. From here, we're gonna add a couple of ladles of stock. A little bit of cooking wine. Touch of white pepper. As usual, for me, touch of stock. Mix it up a little bit. If you need some more stock, add it. And last of all, a touch of dark soy. About like this. So once it's come to a boil, have a taste. That's about right. Okay, now, first, we're gonna add the tofu. And we wanna give the tofu at like a low heat. We wanna give it a good 3 to 5 minutes. just 3 to 5 minutes just to soak. You want that tofu to like soak up all the flavor. So we'll start off like soaking this for like 3 to 5 minutes, and in the middle we'll add the oysters. Okay, so we've let that flavor infuse for a while. Oh yeah, so the garlic's coming through, the fermented black soybeans are coming through, and that mala paste with the chili oil is just like really enhancing it. So now it's the time to add the oysters. So we're just going to put the oysters in. Once you put the oysters in, use the back of your ladle and just stir it around a little bit like this. And you don't want to mix it too much. You don't want to break up the tofu too much and stuff. You just want to get like a real nice slow boil. And you can give these 3 minutes, 4 minutes. I mean, you can also boil the oysters in water first, so they pinch, like pinch really tight, and then put them in and boil. But you can also do it this way, just the natural way of just putting them. So it depends on what type of quality of oyster you get. If you get like a lesser quality oyster, you want to blanch them in super boiling water first, so the skin goes, and then put the oysters in. But if you get like really good fresh quality oysters, you can just put them right in with that whole like sea flavor added. Okay, so now that we've boiled the oysters down, okay, we're going to take a little bit of our potato flour and water, maybe tablespoon worth, around about like that. Okay, add it, turn the heat up, give it a mix, add another batch, about the same, so round it up, so in total you're going to be around about 2 tablespoons. Add it in. If you think you've got a little bit of excess, just take it out. Sichuan pepper, add it in. Now just let it boil down. And then once it gets to see, if we see the bubbling here, we've got this kind of like little jelly-like, you see this is a jelly-like consistency. Yeah. Then scoop it up. Add to the plate, give it a wipe off, and a nice fresh topping of Xian Tang. And there you have it, Málà mǔlì, fantastic dish. Spread it over rice, it's a winner. Done.
Absolutely good.
Okay, so Málà mǔlì, that's it. That's how it's done. That's how you make it. It is kind of high on the spice level. So if sometimes you might run into a few problems making this dish for like groups of people, because there's a lot of people out there who don't like oysters, and there's a lot of people out there who can't handle like very, very spicy. But if you've got people who like oysters and they love spice, this is a beautiful dish to make in oyster season. And I think generally speaking, like people are not really used to eating oysters like this. They're usually eaten like in a different fashion, a different manner. So I think people find this recipe quite interesting. So give it for your friends or family or whatever who like oysters, give it a shot. Don't forget, like, subscribe, hit the bell, and send this around, send these recipes around. You know, we're putting a lot of work into this. We want to hit 1,000 subscribers as soon as we possibly can, so help us out. See you next time on Wok Drop. Later.